Data macros, which are new in Access 2010, add macro capabilities to tables. One common use for data macros is to send an email when the table data meets a predefined condition. For example, the data macro could send an email anytime an order is over $150. In this movie, we will create a macro that does just that. We're going to work with the orders table, and I'll double-click that in the navigation pane to open it. And then on the Table Tools Contextual tab, I'll click Table, and then we need to select which event we want to trigger this macro. The event that I'm going to select is after insert. The reason that I want to use the after insert event is that as soon as an order goes into the table, I want the email to be sent, or at least attempt to be sent. You do have the option of not allowing the email to go through. So now let's go ahead and create the macro. Because we're checking for a condition, in this case any order of more than $150, we need to use an if statement. And you can see the if statement here on the right in the Action Catalog task pane. If you don't see the Action Catalog task pane, then you can go to the Design Contextual tab. In the Show Hide group, click the Action Catalog button. But in this case, it is shown, so I'll double-click if, and doing so creates an if statement within the body of the data macro. Now I need to define the condition even further. In other words, I want to tell it to look in the orders field and determine if the value is greater than $150 or not. To do that, click the Build button at the right side of the if statements box, and then you can use the expression builder. We're checking for order total, so in the expression categories pane, I'll double-click order total, and then I can type in the rest. So we're looking for whether an order is greater than $150 or not. And you don't have to put in the $sign, we're only checking the numerical value. Okay, so I have order total greater than 150. That looks correct, so I can click OK to add it to the if statement. And you see it here in the if box. Now we need to tell Access which action to take if an order of greater than $150 is entered. To do that, you click the Add New Action list box's down arrow, and then select the action you want. In this case, we want to send an email, so I'll click Send Email from the list. And then you get a list of items that you can set. For to, you type in the to email address, and that'll be this address here. Then I'll press the Tab key to move down to the subject line, and I'll type Offer Customer Discount. Press Tab to move to body, and I'll just type in something simple. Order more than $150, then 2 hyphens, offer customer a discount on future orders. That's there, and I can press Control S to save my work, and then on the Design Contextual tab, click the Close button. Now within the table, which reappears, click in the first empty customer ID field. The order ID field is an auto number that will come up automatically, and we'll say that we have a customer ID of 102. Press Tab, and the order is $175. So 175, and press Tab. When that happens, I see a dialog box indicating that a program is trying to send an email message on my behalf. I can either allow it or deny it. In this case, I'll go ahead and deny it just so the email doesn't get sent. But if I clicked Allow, then the email would have been sent from the parameters that I've named within Microsoft Outlook. Data macros extend the traditional macro functionality, which lets you build even more capabilities into your databases. Data macros occupy the middle ground between traditional macros and VBA. They're not as complicated as VBA code, but not as powerful either.